Step one when getting ready for a date, clean out the car. I deliver pizzas in it, so I've got to make sure that it's clean and free of pizza smell.
That's right, everybody. We are resurrecting Skippy from the dead, and we are reviewing one of his classic dates. He goes on a comedy show tour with some girl, and they don't even remember how they met. It's very romantic. It's going to really put you in the mood and think, damn, how is Skippy still a virgin? And pretty quickly, I think we're going to solve that solution. Now, I haven't covered Skippy in a couple months. His up-to-date, current posts that he does are pretty depressing. They're pretty sad. It's just videos of him walking and talking about random things. It's not interesting. It's kind of sad. And, I wish he would just go back to filming girls uncomfortably on dates, because that's the content we all desire. And if you know any lore about Skippy at all, there's a chance you know about the Klondike bar. Now, I was aware of the Klondike bar, but I didn't know that that video was associated with this date that we're covering. So we're gonna group them all together into one, and it's gonna be one great time. I'm also gonna incorporate a new system in this video. I'm gonna have the cringe-o-meter down below, where Skippy's head will bounce around to where I think it is cringiest. Where on the scale, where on the meter is the cringe at? So, play along. Agree, disagree, let's see.
Okay, so I'm Skippy. If you're watching this, I would think you know that. This is my date. Her name is Deanna.
Hello.
Deanna, I'm going to hand you the
Am I
camera,
going this way?
and we're going.
Does it matter which way?
No, just so that it shows. And if you want it to be mostly you, I'm totally good with that. Just so that you record, I will start to drive, and we can always edit through this so that it seems natural and normal.
All right.
It's really natural and normal for your first date to just hand a camcorder to some chick that you're going on the date with and say, hey, videotape what's going on here. There are several instances throughout this video that I'm just like, this is giving off major serial killer vibes, Skippy. I like to pretend and at least imagine that he's a mostly harmless puppy that doesn't know what he's doing. But I mentioned it in previous videos about him, where it's just like, there's something about the way he goes about things that feels like it's like a predator toying with its food. Where it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this really embarrassing thing, and that's gonna be the last moment that she remembers. That's the whole vibe I'm getting here. But obviously, Skippy, the reality of it is probably that Skippy just wants to have enough footage of her that he can add to his spank bank later on when she inevitably denies him. But hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We're back.
So we put in Donald Glover, and it came up with 67 or what was the one for?
He's just is the Riz Master. He just has so much suave when he talks. I get made fun of sometimes with how I sound on microphone, but I try and keep the sentences flowing. One of my biggest pet peeves about Skippy, and it's not wholly his fault, I think he has some sort of speech impediment, but I hate when people are constantly stuttering over the same word, trying to get their mind to catch up to their speech. Maybe that's selfish of me. Maybe I should show more patience, but it's really annoying. And the most annoying part about this is that they go through this whole thing talking about, oh, what type of car did you have? What's the name of the car? Oh, you don't have a name for the car? And then Skippy, a light bulb goes off on his head, and he's like, hey, have you heard of Childish Gambino? Goes through the entire history of Childish Gambino and says, let's use the Wu-Tang name generator and get us a name. And then she tells him, oh, your name was this, and he can't even remember it. So those are the stories that we get stuck with Skippy. It's really painful, and he's like, oh, I'll edit these things out. He never edits anything out. I rarely edit things out, but at least, I'm going in a direction. You know, we're not stuck in park in the middle of an intersection, you know? Figure it out, dude.
So he has black hair?
Yeah. And I say only that he could be my brother, and that he's not like a skinny mini. Of the people that will be on stage, you've got a really tall guy named Ryan Stiles, who's probably the best comedy improviser in the world. You're gonna have Greg CREEPS, who is a genius.
You're losing her, Skippy. You're losing her. She doesn't give a shit about who these comedians are. You know, she doesn't want to know the Wikipedia backgrounds of these dudes. And Skippy's trying to flex because he met that dude previously. And he's like, oh, I've been to their comedy shows before. I know everything about him. I'm up to date with my lore on the comedy show. And then she's back there rightfully noticing some weird tripwire thing hanging from the ceiling with little toys and knickknacks. She's moving them around. Her facial expressions are just confused, a little bit bewildered, kind of bored. You know, Skippy, you're not putting on the charm, buddy. You're not putting on the charm. And the problem is he can't control himself from talking. You know, a lot of people think I can't stop talking in these videos. Well, go watch a Skippy video, because that dude encompasses 90% of the talking time in every single one of the videos. It's ridiculous.
You've got a gift coming at the end of the night, and you kind of know what part of it is.
I love gifts.
And you kind of know what part of it is already if you were to think about conversations we've had over the last 6 months.
Isn't that great? Don't you love getting random, unassumed garbage gifts at the end of your dates? You know, in modern days, it's a little bit more taboo to be giving people presents on the first date. You know, usually in my mind, it's like, hey, if I'm going to cover the meal, that can be your gift. You know, my presents obviously is already the gift. But, you know, in old days, you know, maybe some flowers, maybe a chocolate box, something like that. Nah, Skippy skips all that shit, and he's gonna buy a bunch of random garbage from the dollar store. Cause that's what every woman really wants. She just wants a bunch of trash for some weird virgin 40-year-old Mormon dude. That's the dream.
Virgin Diaries, right? Cool, but the best video of me on the internet, in my opinion, is a video called Skippy in Love, which is the cringiest. It's the cringy.
See, she wants none of this. She doesn't care about your narcissistic tendencies to try and talk about yourself 24/7. Because that's all he ever does. Everything is always centered around Skippy. He's never really, you know, when he guides a conversation, when he's talking about naming her car, it always is coming back to Skippy in one way or another. He just can't help it. He needs to talk about himself. He's a pathological narcissist. And hey, you know, some ladies somewhere out there might like that. Not any that I'm aware of. You know, sorry, Skip. I know this video is like 5 years old, but I can't hook you up, buddy. You know, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it's not looking good so far.
What's the wildest thing you would do for a Klondike bar? What would you do for a Klondike bar?
And that's right, everybody. I didn't even know this when I went into this date. I just saw a date. I hadn't watched between Skippy and some poor innocent chick. And then here he is talking about the Klondike bar. I'm like, wait a second. There's a video of him bringing a Klondike bar. And we'll get there at the very end. So strap in tight. But this man, he planted the seed. He knew what he was doing.
That is a great, yeah.
Keep your Klondike bar. But if it's delicious, then...
Yeah, what wouldn't you do for a Klondike bar? Yeah. Lip? Let's say I buy you a Klondike bar and it's like super tasty. Would you kiss a guy for a Klondike bar?
Just like interacts like how like a 4-year-old does. And maybe 4 is too young. Maybe I'm thinking of like a 3rd grader. You know, lip, kiss on the lip, please. Lip. You know, it's like something that I feel like my grandma would do before I would leave her house. Is like tap her lip to say, oh, I need to give her a kiss before I leave. not some mid-30s man on a date with a girl. You know, you have to be more subtle. But Skippy doesn't understand subtle. He's trying to find a way, you know, in his $400 a month salary, he's trying to find a way that he can essentially buy a kiss from a lady, and he's thinking that garbage, crappy Klondike bars is the way. I'll get into my opinion on Klondike bars later, but if you like them, you don't know what good ice cream is, alright? And I'm not crossing that bridge yet.
Follow you already?
This is a live follow.
Does it say
Following.
follows? Does it say follows you already?
No.
Ah, that's changing today.
Oh man. They're sitting there trading each other Instagram follows. And you know, it's as bad as you thought it would be, because I decided to look up her Instagram, and she's married now. Spoilers, I guess, for this date. She's married now and has several kids, and she's like a mommy blogger or mommy influencer or whatever you want to call it. She's got like 10 grand followers on Instagram. I don't know if that's good, but you know, oh man, Skippy probably sees that every single day. Just, you know, one slow tear falls out of his eye as he drifts away into his sleep.
Have bar food because I haven't eaten. Are you hungry at all?
I could eat some food.
Yeah, we could get some food, and then at the end of the night, I have a gift for Deanna.
Oh, the crazy part is there are times during this date where you're just like, maybe there is some sort of connection going on here, because they feel like two theater kids that are stuck together. And you know, theater kids, it's just the wackiest combination of people that are in a relationship together. The problem is Skippy is more desperate than he is like creative or like spunky or anything like that. So you're sort of stuck with her, who's sort of bubbly and goofy, and Skippy likes to believe that that's what he's like. But either way, this is after the show, and now they're going to some after party where the performers are supposed to be, and it's not good, bro. It's just not good.
I don't know.
When was the last? How long since your last relationship? How long ago?
I don't know.
Over a year ago?
See, this is the part of the video that makes me feel like it's like a serial killer. It's just like, how long ago was your last relationship? How long was it? Was it over a year ago? How long was that relationship? Was it like 5 years? Skippy, you can't be asking these things on the first date. I get it. I get it, wanting to understand the person that you're dating. And she goes on to say that everybody in college thought that she was easy, but apparently she wasn't, which, you know, in lingo probably means that she was easy, but Skippy missed out on that moment of her life, so he stuck with, you know, a renewed version of herself. So, but either way, who's asking that? I've never gone on a first date and been like, oh, your last relationship, yeah, what was that about? Because you're trying to swoo her. You're trying to make her not remember how much better a normal person is in society compared to you, Skippy. Alright? That's the goal. To try and disassociate her from any other male in the universe apart, you know, and that's why I get serial killer vibes, because it's like, maybe you do just have to like drive her into the woods so that she can't be heard from anybody ever again.
I think I've had technically 3 girlfriends my entire life, kind of thing. And I've made out with, I want to say either, I think it's 49 is the
You
number
made
of the
out
girls.
with 49 girls?
Yeah,
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
only 3 relationships, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, what a sick flex, Skippy. You're really showing off, and she's clearly loving it. She's so into that. And that's why, like, he's never had a strong father figure in his life, so he doesn't know how to behave in these, like, circumstances. Like, if you have this sexual aura around you, chicks can pick up on it. You don't have to tell them that the ladies want you or that you've made out with so many ladies. First off, he's definitely never had 3 girlfriends before. Alright, that's cap. I'm throwing that way downtown. That's big time cap. There's no way he's had 3 girlfriends, because if he did, he would non-stop talk about them in every single video all the time. And he would try and live vicariously through those previous moments. There's no way. Secondly, why are you counting, bro? Why are you counting? And there's no way that there were 49 makeouts. There's no way. It was probably 48 of those uncomfortable pecks that he tries to force on chicks, and 1 just mentally deranged lady that gave in to his whims. And it's just, oh god, Skippy.
So,
You didn't go for the bustier, huh?
yeah, I couldn't find a Wonder Woman bra. But yeah,
Goodness.
Those are nice.
but I actually do have a talk to that somewhere. Couldn't find it. But yeah, that's her thank you for going on a date with me gift. Yeah.
So here's the worst part about this moment. He's giving her all this trash. Who cares? It's pieces of clothing. It's some kid's backpack. Who cares? It's trash. The worst part is that she's sitting at the table adjacent to a guy who's wearing a suit, looks pretty good, way better than Skippy, and he's gonna rizz her up by saying, "Damn, this shit is stupid. Who is this bozo giving you stuff? Can I get you a drink? You wanna leave that moron behind?" And, you know, who could really feel bad if that was the actual outcome of this situation? Because why? What possesses him to think that this is a good idea? And then he repeats it over and over again, even after everybody in the comments says, oh man, Skippy, Jesus Christ.
Wait and have sex until after I'm married, right? And so my reply back is 2 things. 1, the title title of the video. Oh yeah.
Are you tonight?
Big secret. We didn't have sex. Oh, you were there. We didn't have sex earlier.
No sex.
You were conscious for the whole
No
day,
sex
right?
given.
Oh, Skippy, my man. Up high. Nothing says a solid date like making a roofie joke on the on the first date, talking about. And it's funny because he always says, well, I want to have sex and I want to wait until I can have sex until I'm married. And it's like, I don't think he's ever really been presented with the opportunity to have sex before marriage. This dude, if she said right now, let's have sex, he would have sex with her. 100% guaranteed. And it's not me trying to mock people that withstand until they get married, because I think that's fine. Like, if that's what you want to do. But like, you can't say that and then also be the most horny, egregious, porny boy in the entire world, and then also say, yeah, I'm gonna wait until I get married. No, you're not. No, you're not. You just haven't been given the opportunity, bud.
Spooky lighting.
I think we should, if for
Let
nothing
the comments
else.
decide.
Okay, we'll let the comments decide. Well, my answer to you is yes, I would love to go on a date with you if you're asking, and if you're not, I definitely will be asking for a second date. But we'll see. Comments, something like that.
Oh my god. You know, and this is the worst part, because like, my point of view for all this stuff has always been just be direct with him. You know, she's saying, oh, let's let the comments decide if I should go on another date with Skippy. That means no. That means I never want to see him ever again. But she's too nice to be able to say, no, I don't want to see you again. But Skippy obviously doesn't pick up on any of the hints, and he's like, well, obviously, if you want to go on another date, I'm down to go on another date. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Story.
And that's the end.
That's the end.
Thank you.
Until next time, I hope.
What else do you do?
No, that's a good way to end. I adore you.
God, what a fucking creep, dude. What a creep. Why is he looking at her like that? I adore you. I adore you. I'm gonna grab that kiss from the camera. It's not cute, bro. It's not cute. It's... Lock him up, man. You know, if you've ever seen Minority Report, where they like predetermine crimes before they happen, Skippy would be on there a million times after a million times. And it's like, I get it. You know, sometimes jokes don't land. He's not joking here. But like sometimes jokes don't land, or things just aren't as funny as what you thought in your head, whatever. But like stuff like this is like a negative Rizmaster. You know, it's like, I feel like my nephew who can't even speak would have more Riz than Skippy would, because at least he's cute. And that might be the harshest thing I say in the entire video.
So I just got done with work, and I swung by to pick up some groceries, and I was like, I'm not going to look at these again ever the same way. Especially when she lives 3 blocks away from where it is that I buy groceries. And so...
Oh yeah, Deanna, it's time to move. It's time to get out of here. You know, she said she was from California. You know, California sucks, but it's better living there than having Skippy know where you live. That's a promise, because, oh boy, he's already counting down the blocks. He's like, every time he goes to the grocery store, I bet he's just like salivating. He's like, oh, she might be in there shopping. I can just drop in on her. Oh, it's going to be so good. We can go share a Klondike bar together. And that's the funny part is I think this happens like a week after the date, something like that. And it's very clear that a second date was never going to happen. So Skippy had to fabricate it. He had to make it up himself. He's like, hey, you know, clearly she's not into me, but that must just be because the trolls got to her. And as a troll-looking man, I'm gonna get to her too. And therefore, he brought disgusting chocolate ice cream to her. How exciting!
I spent the majority of the day sending her messages saying, I don't get why you don't like me, essentially stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? I need to. Like, I know that we're gonna be friends for forever.
This is literally, if you've ever seen the movie Creep or Creep 2, this is literally the main protagonist in those movies. It's like uncanny. This guy who is so quickly able to take a negative situation and morph it in their mind into being a positive situation. She probably never replied to his text. I would love to see a screenshot of her text messages. It would probably be like 20 messages from Skippy saying, I don't know why didn't you like the little kid's backpack I bought you? Why didn't you think the roofie joke was funny? You know, it's just like a bunch of messages like that. And it's like, it is hard. You know, if you're trying to get a girlfriend, if you're trying to get girls to like you, it is hard to get ghosted after a date, or like, you know, quickly realize that the messages aren't as good as they used to be. The easiest thing you can do is just block the number, delete the number, and just move on. Because wasting your time trying to get somebody to like you who doesn't like you is like the biggest fault that somebody can have. And Skippy, where do you even begin with him?
First impressions.
Well, chocolate's not that yummy on it. Is it? It's just like those ice creams that are on a stick with chocolate and ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like caramel in it?
No.
Or it's just ice cream?
This is the
It's a
original.
funny taste. Does it have a funny taste?
So, here's where my opinion of Klondike bars come in. I don't like Klondike bars because, personally, I feel like there's just better options for everything. And, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a sommelier of ice cream. You know, that might be saying it too far. But, like, I prefer the more expensive ice cream just because it tastes so much exponentially better than like the processed crap like Klondike bars. It also doesn't help that you got the original, because he said like the other flavors do taste better. It's not much better, but it, like the Reese's one or the Oreos one, like those taste better than the original. But yeah, it's like a fake chocolate taste. The ice cream's not very good. I mean, it's just like it's cheap processed ice cream. I mean, I don't know what else you're expecting from it, but like trust me, as somebody who lives in an area that has a local ice cream distributor that makes their own ice cream in-house, and it's like $8 a pint. It's so expensive, but it's so much more worth it. It's so much more worth it than getting the cheap crap.
Chocolatey coated and ice cream loaded. It's just artificially flavored vanilla light ice cream in a milk chocolate flavored coating.
Hey Deanna, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Our milk and cream. There's no real seal on it. It's not a real.
Oh god. Oh god, man. First off, he's laughing at the 6th grade humor joke that she was reading from the packaging. She like, first off, he shows up unannounced. She doesn't want him there, and he won't go away. So it's like a trifecta of just horribleness. And then you have him sitting there tapping his lips, tap, tap, taparoo. Maybe she'll give me a kiss if I do this. And it's like, no girl wants to give a pity kiss to a guy. You know, girls like it when you take control, when you are the one that, you know, sticks their neck out there a little bit. No girl is going to be like, oh, he's tapping his lips. That's so cute. Let me give him a kiss. I can't say no girls, but like, give me a break. Not for Skippy. I'm sorry.
Dairy product. Quit it.
That was the first
That's
kiss
what
I've
I
ever.
got.
That was the first kiss we've ever shared,
Oh my
and
god.
even then it felt forced. Can we try it for real?
All right,
kiss?
guys, we did it.
Can we try it for real?
Oh my god, dude. That's one of the cringiest moments of any video of all time. Of all time, dude. He forces a kiss over to her and she says, quit it. And then he says, that was our first kiss. And even that felt forced, because it was forced. She did not want it. And then she proceeds to turn off the camera on him, man. He's like, let's have a real kiss, baby girl. Give me a smooch. And she's like, I have to turn off this camera and get back inside the house before I end up chopped up into a million pieces. Skippy. Jesus. It's no wonder that your entire life has derailed since then. I mean, best of luck, I guess. But at the end of the day, we all know nothing's going to change. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.